They say games are played on the field and not on paper, and that's a good thing. Because if this one were played on paper, it might get ugly, but you never know what's going to happen. Welcome to Vaught-Hemingway Stadium, home of the Ole Miss Rebels. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Auburn Tigers, taking on the 12th ranked team in the land, the Ole Miss Rebels. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer alongside. Guys, we can't wait to see this game. Been looking forward to it all week. Auburn will kick off to get us underway. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So the Ole Miss Rebels offense will get the first possession. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, like all power, all those things are really, really good. But you also need guys that will hold people accountable, guys that will lead. And it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks the sideline. It sparks the coaching staff. It sparks the fans. They're special players, and they all have to play well today.
The Rebels with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Off the play fake. Caught near the sticks. It's Lee. And he gets it to the 44-yard line. It'll be a first down. Last completion moved the sticks, and let's see if they try it again. Give to the running back. Finding open areas. And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn.
And the Rebels in a good spot here with second and short. They'll move the wide receiver. He'll do it himself. Turning it on. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
And that's a nice job by this QB. Great job. You show patience, right? Like, if they don't come take me, I'm going to keep running. That's how I go pick up another first down, move the sticks, and this offense can keep churning.
The Rebels are moving quickly down the field. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Unleashes one deep. And they couldn't make the connection on the long shot.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
What will they dial up on second, and a long way to go? Taylor has it. Not much there on the run. He gets one to the 31. It'll be third and long. Dropping back, it's Simmons. And here's a fumble way behind the line. A fortuitous turn of events to keep possession of that one.
Well, ball security doesn't just apply to running backs and receivers. QB's got to keep two hands on the ball as well. And they're very lucky after that fumble that the offense jumped on.
And the Rebels will punt it away on fourth down. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Punt goes out of bounds, and a really nice job as they stick them deep in their own end. They'll mark it around the 10. So the Auburn Tigers offense will try to get something going with their first possession. And David, if you like big plays, and I know you do, and highlight real catches, and I know you do, we've got a guy for you on this offense.
Man, it's so fun to watch him, not for defensive coordinators and defensive players, but this is a guy that can make plays all over the field. He will be highlighted, just the speed, the playmaking, the catching ability. Jesse, he will make plays early and often.
Man, it is so nice as a quarterback when you have a guy like that lining up, because you can just throw it anywhere in his vicinity and trust he's going to find a way to get it done and make the catch. Even when he's defended, he is always open, and you're going to see him line up all over the field, and he'll get the ball in a variety of ways.
On the nasty move, and now he's got room. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Rides the back and leaves it on the option. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. The RPO, fire complete to the left. Still on his feet at the 45. They finally get him on the ground, and this junior turning in a big play after the catch.
I'll tell you, this guy has to get touches early in games. They're doing a good job of that right now. He's so dangerous once he has the ball in his hands. And I think if you're on offense, you move him around and you find more creative ways to get him involved.
Wants to throw on first down. Fires to the big fella. He'll go out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 31, and a big pickup on that one.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
Wants to go up top on first down. That's caught. It's Singleton. How many guys are left grabbing for air as he gets it to the 26-yard line?
Yeah, and listen, I'm going to move this guy everywhere. He's in the slot this time, but I'm not going to let the defense understand where he's lining up so they can double team him, put him in the slot, put him out wide. Either way, find this guy early and often.
From the gun, running back gets to give. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Takes it from the gun on third down. Grab near the sticks. It's Simmons. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down. Simple call, excellent execution, moves the sticks on third down.
These QBs and receivers, man, they run this route in practice thousands of times. So it's nice to see them come out here and execute it in game conditions. Great job with the timing, great job with the depth and the route. Nice work between those two.
Now the connection takes it to the 11.
One of the most difficult things about this slot receiver is his shiftiness and his athleticism. He's very, very difficult to tackle after the catch.
Can't pick up the first down without getting it. Off the bootleg, looking to fire. He's got it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, no problem.
When you start in the black zone inside your own 20 coming out, it's difficult. You can give up a safety. You get worried about that. The offense puts a great drive together. Great job executing. Great job getting a touchdown.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the PAT makes it 7-0.
That makes the score Auburn
kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. He'll bring it out. It's Ray. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
They're trying to run the football, and there's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Man, a lot of times when you blitz that linebacker, it's about timing. You don't show your hand, and he gets up to the line of scrimmage, gets right through the line, and makes the tackle for a loss.
And as soon as the running back gets the football, he's got a face full of linebacker.
Not much you can do there. Like, you got to have a little better block. You got to identify that blitz a little bit faster.
Breaks into the open. He stopped at the 23 and still a ways to go to pick up the first down.
It's unfortunate for this offense, guys. Had they not had the mental errors and mistakes early in the drive, they'd be sitting pretty right now. Even after that long gain on the running play, they've still got 4th down.
The Rebels decide to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He'll settle for some pretty good field position and make the fair catch at around the 35. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. They reeled off a long touchdown drive the last time. They had a much better field position this time around. A confident, tough, efficient run gets it up to the 44.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
And the Tigers with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. They'll send the back in motion. Creates a little room. He almost picked up the 1st down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. You know, sometimes even a short gain like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that, take a shot down the field, and don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is dangerous. He makes one guy miss, he can take it to the house.
And he needed 1 yard, and he didn't get it. The defense won the battle up front.
Well, and he gets stuffed on that QB sneak. He's just not doing a really good job of reading the crease and finding a little space to kind of tuck into and drive his feet. He's just running himself into a wall there.
Well, and how about the big boys up front? Make a crease, push somebody back, create some space. There was nowhere to go.
Not going to get a chance to field that one, and the punt will bounce out of bounds. Ole Miss ready to send the offense onto the field. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3-and-out the last time they had the ball. With the catch, it's Wallace. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down marker.
And quarterback receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
And the Rebels can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Looking to pass, it's Simmons. Quickly out on the screen to the wide receiver. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, that receiver's looking at his teammates like, guys, what's up? You're not going to block for me on the screen? Seriously? I mean, I just lost yards on a screenplay. How does that happen?
The Rebels come to the ball trying to pick up this 3rd and short. Here's the snap, itching to fire downfield. He was on his way. He could smell it. He gets it inside the 10. They stop him at the 9.
Man, this quarterback's been in a nice rhythm all drive, hasn't he? He's just playing on time. He's making good decisions. He's now got the offense at 1st and goal. I'd let him throw it down here. He has earned that right.
And the Rebels have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And you hear about run blitzes. This is exactly what a run blitz is. When you know the ball's coming up the middle, you want to bring those linebackers, get them closer to the line of scrimmage, and fire. Right when the ball snapped, he's coming downhill, doing a good job creating the loss. That linebacker really knew what was going on.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Quarterback on the keeper. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Man, I love that play by this corner. You know why? When you run the option and that thing gets spread out, your DBs have to commit to tackling. And how about the cornerback coming up, sticking his face in the fan, and making a play? You love to see DBs tackle like that.
It's 3rd and goal and 3rd and long. Couldn't find a man and just had to throw it away to avoid a negative play.
I think some people will get upset. What are you doing? Why are you throwing the football away? I'm in field goal range. I take a sack, it makes it a harder field goal. This is a great job by the quarterback, understanding the situation and throwing the football away.
They'll try to get something out of this drive and kick the field goal here on 4th down. It's good. He hit that one right down the middle. That'll bring him to within 4. They'll kick it away after putting up a field goal on that last drive. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. Off to a good start here, and back to work now. They've got the play bottled up. Fumble, it's out. Defense has it, they're on the move. Touchdown, Rebels! The defense takes matters into its own hands.
Defenses are always trying to force turnovers, to get the ball back to their offense, make those big plays. You know what the cherry on the sundae is? When you force the turnover, the pill hits the ground, you scoop it up, and you take it all the way back to the house. Huge play for this defense.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point puts them up by a field goal. That is a defensive player's dream. Ball sitting there, chance to scoop it up, run with it, and they don't stop you until the band starts playing. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. So here comes the Auburn offense. We've had some early scores. They get the ball back, trailing by a field goal 10-7. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one.
The first thing you have to do to make these plays successful offensively is I have to block the edge. I got to get my speedster in space. They didn't do a good job of getting that guy out there in space where he could really use his jets. Nice job by the defense, understanding it, seeing it, rallying to it, and tackling that guy for a loss.
The short hands, it's Frazier. There he goes. Jumped on top of the pile.
So difficult because my eyes tell me as a defensive guy, he's handing it off. The offensive line's blocking run. I got to go get it. Quarterback pulls it, throws it to the right. It's kind of like that hidden hat game. Like, where's the ball? I'm always trying to find that thing.
The Land Sharks circling. Crowd getting this defense whipped up on 3rd down.
That's a 1st down for the offense.
Auburn ready to go back to work after getting another 1st down. The give out of the gun. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard.
Well, he did everything he could to try to avoid all those defenders, but at the end, it's still a negative play. Tackle for loss.
One defender, then the next one. The blitzing guy got a shot at him. Everybody had a shot. It took a while to get him down.
Yeah, great effort by that defense, not quitting on the play.
Makes the grab. It's Singleton. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a first down.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
The Tigers look to keep this drive humming. Looking to throw on first down. Got a man. It's Singleton. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't gain any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play down the line. Just keep that in mind.
He stopped at the 45 after picking up 10 yards and the first down.
Good enough for a first down.
We have the early makings of a quarterback duel, as these stats will show you. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. They've got a first down here to open the period. Leaves it with the back. And that's a very productive first down play in bringing up 2nd and 3.
Man, it's nice when you can depend on your big boys up front to make a lane, and you get 5 or 6 yards. You get 5 or 6 yards a pop. You move the ball down the field easily, and more importantly, can get this defense to be more aggressive, to bring DBs close to the line of scrimmage, and then that might open up some big plays down the field.
From the shotgun, they'll run it. Gets him on the ground at the 28, but not before a big 10-yard pickup. Here's a rich tradition of running the football at Auburn from James Brooks, Joe Cribbs, Bo Jackson, Cadillac Williams, Ronnie Brown. They love to find a tough running back to feed the rock.
Such great history, such great lineage of ground and pound and great athletes, and it's just a physical mindset of Auburn, and they're always that team that wants to run the football.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
I like offenses being creative. I'm not sure if that was the best place to call that play. I think this offense needs to think about just doing things a little bit more by the book. They've got a lot of good playmakers. You don't have to reinvent the wheel this early in the game.
Quarterback will keep it. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They're close enough for a makeable field goal from the 26, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and long. He's looking to throw. Grabbed behind the line. It's Cobb. And he gets it inside the 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 9, where it'll be 1st and goal.
I love that from this offense. 3 is good. You're in field goal range, but now we're set up with 1st and goal because of great 3rd down execution by this offense. Stay aggressive. Even when you get in this part of the field, when everything shrinks and gets a little bit harder, you still want to be aggressive.
Looking for the end zone. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Tigers. A methodical drive, soul-crushing, spirit-breaking, and it ends in a touchdown.
And listen, I know everybody wants the big plays, the big, long touchdowns and all that stuff, but putting a drive together like that is very difficult to do time and time again, and it's demoralizing for the defense. Great drive by the offense.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they're up 14-10. Precise, relentless execution on that 13-play scoring drive. And what a way to finish it with a 9-yard touchdown run. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll bring it out. It's Diggs. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Looking downfield, it's Simmons. Fires to the wideout. Got a man, it's Lee. They get him stopped at the 26, but that'll be enough for this offense to go to work on first down. You know, you think back on the Jackson Dart era at Ole Miss, the best 3-year run in more than 50 years. Now Austin Simmons steps in, full of potential, Jesse, to lead the Rebels to further glory.
Quarterbacks have played so well under Lane Kiffin in recent years. You can even go ahead of Jackson Dart back to Matt Corral and what he was doing in that offense. So now the lefty takes over. This dude's got a lot of talent. He can make every single throw on the field. Lane Kiffin's playbook is completely at this guy's disposal, and because of that, you know there are going to be a lot of big plays for the Rebels.
The Rebels can really attack on this 2nd and short. On the ground, it's Diggs. What a nice job by the defense to string it out, not give him any kind of alley, and knock him down for a loss.
And there was no space, nowhere to go. That play went absolutely nowhere.
Sometimes you just need a dude to show up and make a play, and he did.
And sometimes you just need to block that dude, and they didn't.
Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. Caught in the backfield, it's Diggs. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down. Just not able to shake enough defenders and comes up a little bit short.
And I think a lot of times on 3rd down, Reese, you bet on your guy. When you're an offensive guy, you say, okay, he's going to break a tackle, he's going to get north and south and somehow get the first down. Nice tackling by the defense, understanding where they had to get to and forcing the 4th down.
Kick is in the air. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. To the air on first down. Fires to the right. Snares it outside. It's Frazier. Steered out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. A big pickup, and they are threatening.
And that's good enough for first down.
From inside the 40 at the 37, it's first down. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. Able to squeeze out a couple on the play. It's down at the 35. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Wide receiver going in motion. Second down, they'll go to the air. Got it behind the line. It's Coleman. And they'll shove him out of bounds after the short gain.
My old coach said, don't never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
A big 3rd down coming, and hotty-toddy, gosh almighty, this crowd is ready. From the gun, wants to pass. Unloads to the wideout. Hauls it in. Inside the 15, out of bounds at the 14-yard line. The offense looking for a score.
And this has got to be so demoralizing for this defense right now. Having given up multiple first downs on this drive, somebody on defense has to step up, make a play, and stop the bleeding.
The Tigers are flying down the field. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Give to the back. Stopped at the 13-yard line as the drive continues. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Wants to go up top. Caught in the backfield, it's Alston. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks.
I like the idea of calling a screen there on third down, but give the defense tons of credit. Making the tackle and now giving themselves a chance to get off the field.
And on fourth down, here comes the field goal unit. And it slips just inside that right upright. Now up by 7 points here in the second.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
So after the made field goal, they'll kick it away and rely on their defense. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. They'll go to work trailing 17-10 and hoping to put together a productive drive. Going for the big play. And that'll be incomplete. They tried to hit him with a big one on first down.
Well, the offense is trying to go downfield and be aggressive. I think that receiver has got to do a better job fighting for the football. He just didn't really put in a great effort, and that's what helped the defender swat it away.
They're dealing with a second and long. Looking to throw at Simmons. Fires to the big fella. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
Well, a nice completion there, finding the tight end. And what's so beautiful about that is while they didn't get the first, they were able to pick up enough yards now to make the third down manageable. Really putting this offense in a good position.
And the Rebels come to the line on third and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Trying to set up the screen. He did not make it. A stone wall on third down.
Well, the offense on third down there, they're just trying to spit the ball out quickly and see if they can get a block and get north. But the defense, really nice job getting after the catch, getting a tackle, and now setting up fourth down.
The Rebels will call on their punt team. Makes the signal, secures the fair catch, and they'll put it in play at the 37. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
And I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there this time and execute a little better on this drive.
You're absolutely right, David. Generally, the best red zone offenses are the ones that run the ball the best. So let's see if they can be a little bit more physical on this drive.
Behind the chains now on second and long. He'll keep it himself. Oh, he just handled it poorly, and it's a fumble. Oh, the offense fortunate to fall on that one, and now live to find another play.
Deep breath, right, man? You fumble that thing, you cough it up, you're like, oh, I really appreciate you, brother. I can't tell you how much I thank you because the coaches would have been all over me, but big-time break for the offense.
And the Tigers come to the line on third down, trying to keep this drive alive. They'll try to get it through the air. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up.
You know, it's funny. That's probably the most discombobulated the offense has looked so far in this game, right? After watching that incompletion there on third down, they were just up and down the field earlier. Tremendous rhythm, tremendous balance. Everything their play caller was dialing up was working, lighting up the scoreboard. And then all of a sudden on this last drive, just not able to piece it together. They've got to be able to turn the page and get back to how they looked earlier in the game.
Was looking for more running room, but found nothing but more tacklers. He's down at the 24. Off play action on first down. Going to try to get it himself. And he gets out of there and gets some yardage and gets down without taking any punishment.
Nice job by the QB, sitting back in the pocket. You can tell he wants to throw the football, go through his progressions. Nothing home, take off, and slide. I love the slide at the end. Don't take a big shot.
That's the type of explosive play you love to start a drive with. First down from the 42. Power football with the run. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Well, the most insightful analysis I can come up with on that one is that didn't work. Back to the drawing board to see if there's something that works a little better soon.
Or if I can quote the great Reese Davis, that was very ungood. Not a productive first down play.
Grabbed in the backfield. It's Stribling. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
Good play by the defense. Way to wrap them up. Way to know where the sticks are. Now puts you in a successful position for third down. Now you can break out the fun packages, the blitzes, putting more speed, more little fast guys on the field.
When you've already sent your punter out 4 times, at least he knows he's going to get his varsity letter, and his leg might get a bigger workout if they don't convert. Throws to the wideout. Makes the catch. It's Stribling. He's got first down yardage as they move it to the 44. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
Yeah, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
Here's a hit. Trying to beat the D deep. Makes the grab, gets the foot down, just precision execution on that big play.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
And the Rebels will snap it on 1st and 10. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. And he'll chuck that one away and save the down. Nobody was able to get open. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Here comes the option. Now the toss. And that one will go in reverse. The defense all over that pitch on the option.
And I think that time the quarterback made the wrong read. He was trying to pitch it. He didn't have to, though. There was a lot of green grass and space out in front of him. If he just holds on to that football, he might not score a touchdown, but he's definitely going to be able to at least get positive yards. I think that's a play on the option the quarterback would like to have back.
Quick screen to the speedster out wide. And the defense is swarming to keep him from getting to the first down.
That's a nice completion. I know you don't get the first down. You're obviously set up in field goal range here down in the red zone, but because you've got 4th and short now, you may decide to go for this if you're on offense.
4th down and 1, and they'll go for it. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And they get to him and sack the quarterback, and they'll stop the drive on downs.
I know that was tough, but as a quarterback, you got to know on 4th down, you cannot take a sack. Any way, shape, or form, you've got to be able to get rid of that football and give it an opportunity. That time, I know it wasn't blocked perfect, but the quarterback's got to have more sense of urgency.
Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Coming out on 1st down with the play fake. Pulls it in. It's Frazier.
I know it's something we take for granted, guys, but Q did a great job there with the play-action fake. He really took his time and sold it. And that's what throws the linebackers in the second level of the defense to help make that completion a whole lot easier.
After that last completion, it's 2nd down. Grabbed behind the line. It's Frazier. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
They're able to find tackling, not allowing him to get the first down.
The Land Sharks circling. Crowd getting this defense whipped up on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Caught, close to the marker, it's Frazier. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped, and it'll be 1st down.
And it's on 3rd downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
He'll take it himself. And this one will be stopped for no gain. reached the 2-minute timeout. We've got a tight one, and they'll try to build on the lead before going to the locker room. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Off play action. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. They make the tackle at the 33, and it is well short of the first down. We've got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Auburn sends out the punting unit. They'll look to pin them deep. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Complete to start this drive. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Really good defense. You know, you're trying to stay as close as you can to all these targets, and most importantly, those open field tackles and getting them on the ground as soon as they catch it. That's a major deal for defenses, and that was a good example there of it.
To the air, it's Simmons. That's caught. It's Lee. Makes the grab, but not quite enough for the first down, but a good gain on that play.
And quarterback dropping back, understanding I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the first down.
The Rebels come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Throws to the tight end. Grabbed over the middle. It's Haas. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down.
Well, in that down and distance, the quarterback's got to get rid of it so quickly, right? He knows the defense is going to be bearing down on him, so a nice job catching the gun snap and then turning and pivoting, getting it out of his hands quickly and accurately to pick up the first.
Looking downfield on first down. That's caught. It's Wallace. Dragged down at the 43, but they've got it in enemy territory. They picked up 10 and give him a first down. And the Rebels come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Quickly to the tight end. He'll pick up a few before going out of bounds at the 34.
Nice job by the QB and receiver on this play in a 2-minute situation, knowing to work the boundary, get the first down, and get the ball out of bounds. Great situational awareness.
The Rebels with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. He'll pull it on the read. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the first down, and he slides in safely.
And I love that decision by this quarterback. No monkeying around, man. Get to the spot, get the first down, lower your shoulder. I don't need a big play. I just want another set of downs. Nice job running the option, knowing where the first down marker is.
Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. And the defense makes the tackle, and that ought to do it here in the first half. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. A memorable first half of football so far today in Oxford. And there's no more fitting place to begin than with this stud receiver. He's dominated the first half. Some guys have the ability to elude and evade. This young man is a true 3-level threat. Short passes, the intermediate game, and then the deep ball. He is a problem, and I don't think this defense has the solution. And with that, let's head back to the Grove at our fellas at Vaught Hemingway Stadium.
And the Rebels will kick it away to crank up the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. Hold it, finds his man on the left. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short game there.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Leaves it with the back. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up one.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough. How important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
A big third down coming, and hotty-toddy, gosh almighty, this crowd is ready. Caught near the sticks. It's Singleton. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that third down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
He's going to be able to pick up a few yards before the slide.
Yeah, and it's so hard to contain this guy with all those options he has and the experience at the quarterback spot. But nice job by the defense limiting the damage. Didn't give up a huge game.
Offense gets set for second down. He'll do it himself. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
I don't think the quarterback made the right read on that play. I know they're asking a lot of his QBs, got a lot to focus on with the pass game and all the different types of runs that they have in their playbook, but on that play there, that pre-snap look told me to hand it off.
From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on third down. And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield.
I personally love aggressive defense. I love it. Bringing the strong safety down, blitzing that sucker in there to get the quarterback. Boom. Get that guy on the ground. Nice aggressive play call by the defense.
Auburn's going to have to send out the punt team. And the return man couldn't get to it to make the catch, and the ball will bounce out of bounds. Ole Miss ready to send the offense onto the field. Looking for a man, it's Simmons. Just missed his man, gave him just a little too much. So now it's second and long. Now the play fake. Pulls it in. It's Stribling. A 6-yard pickup that leaves him with 3rd and 4. The Rebels come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. They're going to run it. Fights off a defender. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47.
Well, he was able to gash him on that play. You just give this guy 1 inch, one little crease. He puts his foot in the ground. He gets north fast.
And the Rebels with the 1st and 10. Use the play fake. Now to throw. He'll take a shot. And good coverage and better hands by the defender to knock it down in the end zone.
DB does an outstanding job here on the deep pass. Locating the football, no PI, able to swat it away, pass incomplete.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. From the gun, the ground game. And he has had a long day at the office, not to mention the backfield, as the defense has been all over him.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back in this one, they need him to break one off, and it just takes one play for this guy. Don't be impatient. You got to keep giving him the football.
And trying to put points on the board on third down. Now they're staring at fourth down. Oh, he had him out there, and he was trying to compensate for that speed, but just a little too much distance.
That's just greased lightning, so you think, I can't overthrow this guy. I'm going to throw it out there and let him run underneath it just a little bit too far for the speedster.
Another punt on the way. Got to make sure those hammies and glutes all activated. Don't want any muscle pulls from overuse. So here comes the Auburn offense. They've punted the last 3 times they've had it, and now really needing to put a score on the board on this possession. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Running back searching for a hole. That'll be a gain of about 7. Leaves him with 3rd and 3.
And a nice job by the running back finding space, getting downhill, making a good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
The Land Sharks circling. Crowd getting this defense whipped up on third down. Trying play action. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
Defense did a great job. 3rd and short on the opponent's side of the field. They're expecting quick throw. Everybody, they dug their heel on the ground. They're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
Auburn sends out the punting unit. They've been busy out there to punt for the 5th time today. Yet another punt on the way. Got to make sure that hamstring stays loose. He's been busy. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. After a punt on their last possession, they are set up in plus territory this time.
And honestly, it wouldn't have mattered if they scored a touchdown in their last possession. You've got to be able to turn the page and see this as a brand new opportunity to go get points.
Yeah, and your defense has set you up for a position to get points right away. Now, let's get this offense back rolling again, create some momentum, just get a few first downs, and I'm in scoring position.
The Rebels in a good spot here with 2nd and short. They give it to him again. They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. Nothing to show for that run.
That's a backbreaker if you're the offensive coordinator, because on the first down, you ran the ball, had a really nice gain. Short yardage situation, you just get completely blown up, and now you're having to probably dial up a throw on 3rd down. You need more consistency from the guys up front.
Dropping back, it's Simmons. Got it in the middle, it's Wallace. Offenses gain momentum with 3rd down conversions like that. They've got it at the 25. 3rd and short, and I guess the only thing they really took out of play in the shotgun was the quarterback sneak.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I like to do, Reese. I mean, 3rd and inches, I want to run the quarterback sneak, run the football, but this team fully comfortable throwing the football, and you see why. Easy pitch, easy catch, first down.
He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands.
Offside, defense.
Offense will take that. Free 5 yards every time. Bad discipline by the defense.
Hand off from the shotgun. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt.
Man, that was a good run, but it was almost even better. Great job by the offense. Keep the running game going. You get big chunks like this. Not only was that a big chunk, it also looked like it could have gone for more.
And the Rebels are moving quickly down the field. Out of the gun, the running back has it. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Here's the thing. I know this guy's not going to win the Heisman Trophy, but he's a pretty talented football player that's made big plays for this offense in the past. They have not had any success when they've given him chances so far in this game. And in the third quarter, you're getting a little nervous, I think, if you're the head coach, because he's a guy you need to have success if you're going to win.
He breaks a tackle. And he's going to lose yardage. He was looking everywhere for just a little grass and a little air, and none to be found.
It's a bad sign on offense when you have that many people running free at your running back. That means guys up front aren't getting their blocks. Just too many hats getting to the ball carrier. I love his effort, making multiple guys miss, but still, it's a negative play.
On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Couldn't quite haul it in. They almost had their first pick here late in the game.
Well, this is a disappointing drive for the offense, considering where this drive started, in their opponent territory. Now you're at 4th and long. You've got to be better throwing the football in those types of situations.
And if the kicker can put one through, this will be a successful drive. Splits the uprights, it's good. That'll cut the lead down to 4, 17-13. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. After putting 3 on the board, the kickoff unit ready to go. On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Got the quick completion. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's 3rd best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncoverable.
Wide receiver comes in motion. Going to swing it on 2nd down. Finds his man. It's Coleman. He'll move it up to the 37-yard line, and it'll be a 1st down.
Like QBs, when you see zone coverage, man, can you manipulate defense when you have a good pocket and you've got time to throw. He had a little bit of time to throw. You can move guys with your eyes. That drag comes wide open. Good throw, good catch, 1st down.
They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Rides the back on the option to give. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage.
Well, the one thing you can say about this defense, they pursue the football. The first guy might miss, the second guy might miss, but there's going to be more and more hats flying to the ball carrier. You saw it on that play getting the tackle for loss. 2nd down. Fires to the wideout. Complete to the left. They got him free for a big gainer to the 43. And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox. Wants to throw on 1st down. Throws for the tight end. Working on the right. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a 1st down. Well, there's an example of how this tight end can be a big weapon in the passing game. That time on the corner route. Does a nice job separating from the defender and hauling in the catch. Here comes Auburn to the line on 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Bought a little time, lets it go. Makes the catch. And he gets it down to the 4-yard line before he's finally stopped. A terrific run after the catch. Well, this offense knew coming into this game they wanted to try to attack the middle of the field in the passing game, and they're able to execute the in route there. Auburn comes to the line with a 1st and goal.
quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete.
And that's such a difficult thing to ask your quarterback, to run the RPO, stick it in the belly of the running back, turn, throw it really, really quickly. And you could tell maybe rushed it a little bit too much, and that was the reason there was an inaccurate throw.
And the D deny them on 2nd and goal. He leaves it with the back. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Auburn!
This defense is going to have to do a better job being physical. That's 2 rushing touchdowns they've now allowed. They have got to be better close to the line of scrimmage.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is good. It's 24-13. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. Fielded in the end zone. It's Diggs. And good work by the coverage team to get the return man down on the ground. Ole Miss ready to send the offense onto the field. They're going to have to be more aggressive in this drive. You can't expect to win this one, David. Turning it on! He's at the 30. He's at the 10. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Ole Miss! Quick strike touchdown comes out and jump-starts the offense.
And, man, we see this in college football, so much explosiveness and firepower, and we get high-scoring game after high-scoring game, and it looks like we're on pace for one of those right now.
They're going to go ahead and go for 2 here and try to make it a field goal game. Scanning the field, it's Simmons. He's in there for the 2-point conversion, and now they're within a field goal. That one's going to get a little star marked beside it on the play sheet. One play, explosive, touchdown just like that. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Great play by the defense there, getting the tackle for loss. But on offense, your mindset has to be, we need to be the more physical team here in the second half. We've got the lead, 3rd quarter. We want to run the ball. We've got to have more success getting our blocks and moving forward if we're going to win this game.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and 3rd down is coming.
Well, it was a good throw, it was a good route, but it was the hit that forced that incompletion.
A big 3rd down coming, and hotty-toddy, gosh almighty, this crowd is ready. From the gun, wants to pass. He lobs one high down the left side. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down.
This game just feels so different than it did in the first half. After that incompletion, now setting up 4th down, they only have a 1-possession lead. Things were looking so much better earlier in the game. They're going to have to get it together throwing the football if they want to win this game.
They boot it away. He'll field the punt and look for room. And the returner will be knocked down. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. They torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score. Great gets into the open. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory there down at the 43-yard line.
Definitely been tough sledding for this guy, especially in the first half. They gave him the ball a bunch, but they just don't have a ton of yards on the ground to show for it at this point. That looked like a pretty good run, though. You just wonder maybe in the second half, if they keep giving him the football, it may start paying some dividends.
To the ground, he's got it again. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
I like this guy as a running back because he can run between the tackles and he can also go outside. He can really do it all.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. With the catch, it's Haas. And that corner came in hot despite knowing that he was giving up some size.
Important in the passing game that it's not just receivers doing all the work. You got to get running backs involved. You got to get your big fellas. You got to get the tight ends going too.
The Rebels line up trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. To throw, it's Simmons. Oh, they're after him. Can't find a man, and he'll be knocked down at the 40.
Honestly, 3rd and 1, I think you just run the ball though. You just trust in your own guy's ability to be more physical, win the line of scrimmage, and go get that yard. Now with the sack, they're going to have to punt.
And the Rebels will try to pin them back with the punt. They're up to a half dozen kicks today. And that punt will make its way into the end zone, and they'll put it in play from their own 20. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. They'll move the tight end. From the gun, they'll try the middle. And he fights his way forward, gets away from one, but not much doing on that one.
And this team needs more of that, man. This is a really close football game, and you got to get these stops down the stretch and meet the physical challenge of this offense, and they do right there, man. And that's one step closer to getting this football back and maybe making this thing a football game.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Sets up the screen. No, sirree, not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one.
Man, those screen passes, I want those defensive linemen to run right up the field, and I want to throw it right over their head where I got some space and I can get my running back going. That is the opposite of what happened right there. There was no space. He couldn't even get going.
On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. Wide open downfield. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down.
Tackle is made at the 39. First down for the offense.
And talk about spreading the ball around. Everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the 4th quarter. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And when you're down later in the football game, you got to start taking some chances. And that was a beautiful run blitz. Great job playing the probability, understanding it might be a run to run some clock. And they guess right, and they make a big play for this defense.
Quarterback on the keeper. Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
Unloads to the wideout. They needed a big play, and they got it, and the foot it down for the first down. Boy, the defense really needed to get off the field there, and they just couldn't do it, and it's a fresh set of downs.
Man, that hurts. When you're trailing late in the ball game, you need those stops, and you get them to third down. You get them to those critical points. Now they get the first down. You don't have many left. You better get aggressive.
Caught over the middle. It's Frazier. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
But the big fella, the tight end, the wide receiver in a tight end's body going up and making the catch.
This offense is done. Time up the clock as they come up on second down. Here's the handoff. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, with the defense trailing, they're trying to dictate to the offense now. Really nice blitz call that time. Blowing the run play up for a huge loss. You're probably going to see that again. They're trying to find a way to create a takeaway, create negative plays, and get the ball back.
On third and long, try to convert through the air. Makes a connection. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down.
Well, this defense has given up some big plays in this game so far, but they've got a lot of talent on that side of the football. Someone has to step up here, make a play, get a stop, and put their team in a position to win.
Auburn ready to go back to work after getting another first down. The run from the shotgun. Oh, he's got some space. They make the stop, and he got work done on the ground, picking up 6 to the 23.
And with the lead late in this football game, I expect to see more of this from this offense. And what am I telling my running back, who's already put the ball on the ground once today? 2 hands on the football. We're not fighting for all this extra yardage. Like, protect the football. We cannot put that thing on the deck.
Rides the back and leaves it. They're there to stop him at the 21 after a pickup of 2.
Well, you got to think in his mind right now, ball security's at a premium. He's had a problem with that earlier in this game, but with the lead now late in the game, yards aren't as important as taking care of the football. And I think he's doing a better job of that now late.
He'll keep it himself. Knocked down in the backfield, and that'll bring up fourth down.
That's got to hurt if you're the offense, because you're thinking with this quarterback and his size and his athleticism, that's going to be an easy first down pickup on the option play. But how about the physicality up front by this defense, stuffing him at the line of scrimmage?
So here we are on fourth down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world. He splits the uprights. And now it'll take a touchdown to at least tie them a 6-point lead here in the fourth. After putting up the field goal, they're set to kick it away. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Ole Miss ready to send the offense onto the field. Not the day they had hoped to have, but when you are a ranked team, you are going to get everyone's best shot, and now let's see if they can pull this one out. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Yeah, and tight ends aren't just line up and block guys. These guys are athletes. You line them up all over the field, and nowadays you can start to feature them more and more in the passing game.
Now they'll try to cash in this drive. 1st and 10 from the 50. Running to the left. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Kept it on the ground on 1st down. Now back to the line. Now they'll run the draw. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
Well, he got you 2 on 1st down. He got you 2 on 2nd. 2 won't get it done on 3rd. You're going to have to go somewhere else if you're on offense here to stay on the field.
They need the 40 to convert here on 3rd down. Back to throw, it's Simmons. Fires to the wideout. Working that left side. And a nice grab there. Big pickup down to the 35-yard line.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. And you saw it right there on that play.
Pulled down at the 29 after getting 5.
These running backs nowadays, they're built so low to the ground, thick and compact, but fast and shifty. They're just so hard to tackle. And you can see he just does a great job breaking tackles, breaking tackles. He does this consistently. That's why he's really hard to stop at the running back spot.
Able to pick up a couple down to the 27. The Rebels are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. They'll try to bully their way for the first. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Well, they needed 2 yards to get that first down. That's exactly what they got. Great job of execution.
No secret about it. Just got to be physical, get a hat on a hat, low man wins, all the cliches to get that 3rd down and short.
And the Rebels will line it up on 1st and 10. On the run, it's Lacey. Pulled down after a nice run, and they're in the red zone at the 19. The Rebels with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. They'll try it on the ground, running the counter. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt.
Wow, the running back there showing you his skill set as he's able to rip off that one for a 1st down.
And the Rebels, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive together. Trying to surprise him with the pass. Quickly complete. And that defense pushing him out of bounds after a short gain. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. They're going to run it. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Great job of contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened there.
Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
You know, the runner just has to have a little bit more patience. He bounced that thing outside a little too early, and as a result, lost yards.
And now on 4th down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. Smashes it between the uprights. The lead is down to a field goal.
And this offense obviously wanted to take the lead, but they chip into the lead a little bit. Now they're going to need their defense. Just give me another opportunity. They only need a field goal in the 4th quarter. Nice job cutting into that lead.
So they were able to put up a 3 spot on that last drive, and now the kickoff team out there as they prepare to put boot to leather. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. He'll pull it on the read. Got to protect the merchandise. Gets down without taking a hit.
When you're a defensive guy and you want to fire in, you want to go hit the quarterback, but you know if I fire in, he's just going to give the football up. You got to be patient. You got to understand what your responsibility is. Then you see when he keeps the football, you got to go tag him. And the problem is these guys are such good athletes. They're so hard to catch once they do pull the football. But it's kind of like the hidden hat trick. You know, where's the ball? It's underneath this one. No, I picked this one up. No, it's gone. It's underneath this one. Nope, there it is. It's gone.
Quarterbacks generally, guys, we know, they're not as big and not as physical runners as running backs. So it is going to be trickier for them to break tackles. I like the idea of getting the design quarterback run game going. But moving forward, let's see if we can get him out to the perimeter.
The Land Sharks circling. Crowd getting this defense whipped up on third down. He's going to run it. Crosses the 35. He's finally stopped, but a big play there with his feet as he moves those sticks.
And how nice is it to just have a quarterback that you believe in, that you can trust, you can put it in his hands on third down to make the right decision. You've got the lead, and you've got your guy. He sees it, nothing open, tucks it, gets a huge third down conversion for this offense.
The give to the tailback. Gets it past the marker. Tackle is made at the 44, but he picked up 10 yards and enough for a first down.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? We've got to lead late. We're going to run the football. And the defense and everybody, can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense right now is trying to do.
And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead. The offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back. He's looking at his playlist. And he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
The Tigers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Oh, what a move. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
And you hear people talk about the 4-minute offense all the time in football. What does that mean? That means you're getting first downs, running the clock, and just right now physically dominating up front. Nice job by this offense.
The Tigers kept this drive moving on the ground, now back to work. Tight end now in motion. They'll run it to keep the clock moving. Got enough for the first. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground.
Well, the defense didn't blitz. They didn't have everybody in gaps, and the offensive line took advantage at the point of attack, getting some push, opening up a hole, and the offense ripping off a nice run there.
And the Tigers have it with a 1st and 10. To the ground with the back. He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. The play-action fake. Touchdown, Tigers! The offense puts up 6 with that trip to the end zone.
I like the aggressive play calling by the offensive coordinator on that drive as well. There are a lot of coaches that would have played it very conservative, very close to the vest, run the ball, and punt it away. Count on your defense, not this guy. He was going to take some shots, count on his own guys to get it done. And now with that touchdown late, they've got a 2-possession lead.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. So an 82-yard drive there. And they cap things off with a 9-yard touchdown pass. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. They had to settle for the chip shot field goal last time, Jesse. They'd love for this one to pay off bigger.
Yeah, it just comes down to execution, too. Did not.
Line run to the right. And they're getting it rolling with that play to the 42-yard line.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
This offense will snap it from the 42 on 1st and 10. From the gun, the running back looking for room.
Well, the interesting thing about a run here trailing late is the defense isn't expecting it. That's the good news. Bad news, though, is you're still trailing. You need to score quickly, which means you need to be throwing the football right now.
The Rebels can really attack on this 2nd and short. Back to throw, it's Simmons. Sends it downfield. He got his hands on it, but couldn't hold on to it. And what a time that would have been for their first pick of the game.
It's been tough for this QB in this one. Very small windows to throw into, and he's been under some duress as well. It's hard to find a rhythm as a QB in those types of situations, and that's why it appears as though his team's going to be leaving here with an L.
And the Rebels come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. He'll do it himself. They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense.
Offense facing 4th down.
Coach has no choice here. The offense has to stay on the field, down multiple possessions this late. 4th down attempt coming. Here comes the heat. Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game. Quarterback on the keeper. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Looking to fire. Got it in the middle. It's Coleman. He's got enough for the 1st down, and that ought to do it. They ought to be able to run out the clock from here.
It's really hard when you get in those predictable situations. Defenses are sitting on the sticks. Receivers have to understand where that 1st down marker is. Heads up play, nose for the 1st down marker. Get in there and get it.
Guys, this is a story we see every single year in college football. Ranked teams losing to unranked opponents. Whatever the reasons, it adds to the flavor of a season.
It's so good because we all love the upsets. And then if you're the team that got that ranked win, Jesse, you start to build your resume, start to build some momentum. So the squad got a good win today.
They sure did. They put the rest of college football on alert with that huge win. And for the team losing, they've now got to be able to turn the page. They got to go back, do some soul searching, because they're a much better team than what they showed today.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.